Good morning, fifth graders. We're going to be talking about verb forms and verb endings today in language. We'll be talking about principal parts and irregular verbs. So on page 16, where we will begin, I would like for you to read the entire list of the verbs, how the verbs are written in these sentences, okay? The verb forms. You'll see that some has helping verbs, some doesn't. Some has only the main verb. Some has a helping verb with an ed or ing. Some only have ed. But you'll always see the ing verbs having helpers, as we call them, okay? Helping verbs. So please read the entire list. It's just for you to see how the verbs sound in a sentence and how they're used in a sentence, okay? And so on page 17, I basically want you to pay attention to the look closely section. These are the rules, the spelling rules that when we learned in phonics, how to spell words and what words, how they change when you add endings and such. These will be very helpful for your exercise on page 20 when we get to that. I also want you to pay a little bit of attention to the irregular verbs. I'll have an entire list of irregular verbs. I think that's on page 19. Yes, page 19 has your list of irregular verbs, and you'll see exactly what they're talking about there. For example, for a regular verb ending that shows an action occurred in the past, it usually just adds d or ed. So today I look. That's what I'm doing now. Yesterday I looked. That's in the past, right? So the word look only added an ed to change forms from present to past. Okay, so those types of things are what we're going to be covering. If you look at another common verb ending, ing, this ing ending, usually verbs ending with ing must always have a helping verb. We talked about that. So like you don't say I'm brushing my teeth, right? Ing, that ing ending has to be preceded by some type of helper. So you say I am brushing my teeth, right? Okay. So for the next example, I will be learning French. Yes, there can be more than one helping verb when you have these types of endings. So please go over the look closely, read your rules and how to change your endings, okay, because that will help you on page 20. All right, and page 18, we're looking at principal parts, which are the building blocks, right, of all of the verbs and verb forms. I want you to look at the present form in the blue box example on page 18. They usually have no ending. Sometimes it ends with an S or an ES. You can see the examples there. I feed the fish. Noah feeds the fish. I do my best. Kayla does her best. So for the present participle, it always ends with ing and it has a helping verb. Okay? So the present usually is your main verb, right? Sometimes ends with S or ES, okay? Your present participle will always have your main verb with an ing plus a helper. Okay, you have the helper plus the main and ing, okay? That's for your present participle. All right, it could be more than one helper. Can be one, could be more than one, okay? All right, your past usually ends with D or ED, okay? Ends with D or ED. Just some of the words, the way that they're spelled. If it ends with an E, sometimes you just add the D and it looks like ED as well, right? Or if it ends with something like a Y, you have to change the Y to I and add ED, those types of things as well. So your past tense usually ends with D or ED. And then your past participle of regular verbs, okay, will kind of look like your past. It'll have your helper and the ed. Kind of like the helper main verb and ing, the helper main verb and ed, okay? All right, so to help you delineate which is which, or which tense you're using, this is a good little way right here. I'm going to erase all these little extra information right there so you can kind of see the gist of it. So for present tense, you say, today I, and whatever that verb is. Today I sleep, today I teach, today I look. Any verb you put in this blank to find your present. Today I blank, okay? Your present participle, you say I am, and it should have an ing ending, right? So I am teaching, I am sleeping, I am walking, okay? That's your present participle, something that you're doing and continuing with ing. Your past will be something that's already done. Yesterday, I, and your past should fit in this blank. Yesterday, I walked, ed. It'll have an ed ending, right? Something you did in the past, d or ed. Okay? And for your past participle, you say, I have walked. So notice that have is a helping verb. So you have your helping verb plus your ed ending. This is going to be your past participle. This is going to be your past. This is going to be your helper and ing, right? Plus ing for your present participle, and then just your main verb for today. Okay? All right. Today I walk. I am walking. Yesterday I walked. I have walked every day. Okay? Does that make sense? This is our helper right there. So notice your participles, your present participle and past participle, both have helping verbs. Okay? All right. So the only thing left that you have to do, you do have to learn your irregular verbs. So on page 19, this is just a study guide for you to be able to learn all of those irregular verbs, okay? It's not an exhaustive list, but it's a list of words that you use normally or commonly, especially in this text and for language. So please learn all the words on page 19. Try to do page 20 without looking, but if you do need to refer back, that is fine, and I will send you the answers for those on tomorrow. If you have any questions, let me know, guys. Have a blessed day.